We add year also, it's 2008 and 2009, sorry, 8 and 7. This is a 4-dimensional view. Now if we look at this data, if you look at this data versus this data, what does that say? It says the sales made by John for all cities, all province for quarter 1 for 2008 versus 2007. We are trying to compare last 2 years the sales figure done by John. So by looking at the information from various parameters, we are assisting the business to analyzing, peeping inside what is happening there in the business, and they can take a good business decision. That's what the true meaning of business intelligence. Helping business to understand what is happening in their own business. So you see, the more dimension we add, the more detailed analysis we can do. This is even how many dimensions I've got. I added one more dimension called store type. What I'm doing it step by step. I'm converting this transactional model into multi-dimensional way. So one is store type, one is sales manager, city, quarter, and product. Now if you compare this, all these cells versus all these cells, what does that say? The total sales we receive from store type online sales versus store type direct sales by both sales manager for all cities, for all quarters. So all the permutation combination, all combination of your cell brings certain meaning. So the more dimension you have, the more way you can analyze the data, and the data you need is available in pre-aggregated manner, and therefore the querying of information would be relatively fast. So the more dimension you have, more view you are providing to your business data. Okay, the same thing can be done in relational database, but as I said repetitively, there's a cost associated with this. At the end of the day, what do you produce to the user? At the end of the day, you give the user a reporting. So whatever analysis user do, finally they see in terms of reports. Give me a minute. See my screen. The way we receive the requirement, it is in terms of dimension. Generally, when we analyze it, we identify the dimension model, data model. The first step, I identify what are the dimension associated, what are the facts, and the various requirements we split one by one. So requirement 1 says we need to find out top 5 customers. Requirements 2 says year-over-year sales growth. Therefore, the data which we wanted should be already available in aggregated manner. If I look whole year data for a company like Walmart, they have very huge volume of data. Managing this data would be really a challenging aspect. And the more data we have over the period of time, the slower my report is. So this is how we first analyze the data model and identify the requirement one by one. Okay, so in the same series, first we understand the data model. In a data model, it consists of two things. In traditional relational data model, we speak in terms of entity and relationship. This is called ER model. But in multidimensional and data warehousing, the way we use a term called dimensions and facts. And the dimension facts are organized in a certain manner in order to support your business questions. How these are organized, this is what we are going to talk about. Okay, so first we use two terms called facts and dimension, and fact table and dimension table terms used. The first is called fact, and dimension. The fact stored in a fact table, dimension stored in a dimension table, right? Organizing, skipping, taking out or extracting the dimension and facts from your traditional model is called dimension modeling. In simple word, identifying the dimension, facts, attributes, hierarchy from transactional model is your dimension modeling. How do you organize your dimension in order to support your business question? Your requirement and your solution starts and stops at reporting. My approach is always, when you build for a solution, when you go to the client and offer some solution, your step first starts with looking at the existing requirement and then ends up providing a solution in terms of report. So when you offer solution, they must be having some reporting. Your business user may be using some reporting solution, maybe in Excel sheet, Java, .NET, or manually. Some methodology they may be using for reporting. You need to convert this in a more robust approach. Okay, so if you analyze any requirement, it consists of two things, dimension and facts. Okay, let's start analyzing requirement number 1. This is my first requirement. Now, if you understand first requirement, the business wants to identify top 5 customer analysis. So dimension, as I shown you, it's a view towards the data. So in this requirement, dimensions is customer details is one dimension, and time. So we are trying to analyze what? Facts or data. We want to analyze amount sold in this example, or it could be sales. In simple word, this could be revenue. Any numeric value which produce certain business meaning is called fact, whereas a dimension is a view towards the data. So you see, we are analyzing the facts, amount sales, from various customer point of view, from various quarter. Quarter one top customer, quarter 2 top customer, quarter 3 and quarter 4. Last 4 quarters top customers. So this is the total sales and the various customer name. So in this example, my dimension is customer details and time, whereas my fact is sales and revenue. Fact is some numerics which, when you apply aggregation, should bring certain meaning. So let's say I'm applying fact test to ensure the given member is truly a fact. How do you ensure the given member is a fact or not? Let's take all numbers are facts, provided that when you apply aggregation on them, should bring certain business meaning. So let's say sales in this example, the intersection of quarter 1